Hey guys, Telegram Sam here. If you don't already know, I have an Instagram. It's telegram underscore Sam underscore vinyl. So if you're on Instagram, check me out on there. But today's video is a recent vinyl pickups video. And the first bunch of records I'm going to be showing in this video is some lovely VCLT that a viewer of mine, Vic, sent me. He sent me a couple packages before in the past. He sent me a really, really big one for Christmas, so thank you so much, Vic. I'm so appreciative of your lovely packages. So first off, he sent me a couple 7-inches. This one, I was so excited and blown away. I have been looking for anything from this band, especially this 7-inch. But this is Bikini Kill's new Radio/Rebel Girls 7-inch. This is an original 1993 U.S. press. Just if you don't know who Bikini Kill are, they were like figureheads of the whole feminist riot girl punk movement. Just so influential, so fantastic. And here's the sleeve. It's a fold out. This awesome inside that has the lyrics to it, and this was produced by Joan Jett, so that makes it even freaking cooler. I love the song Rebel Girl. It's just amazing, fantastic riot girl punk rock. And then next up, something again I was missing in my collection is the Beastie Boys. This is their You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party single. And it also has Paul Revere on the A side. But yeah, Killer don't have any Beastie Boys in the collection at all. So this is a nice starter. I love the Beastie Boys. I love their mix of like hip hop and rap, and obviously Rick Rubin worked with them a lot. But yeah, this is original 1986 US press. This is from their first album, Licensed to Ill. And fun fact, Kerry King does the guitar solo on Fight for Your Right to Party. Kerry King was in Slayer. I actually learned that from one of your guys' Connect 4 videos. So yeah, I can't remember who did it, I'm sorry. But thank you for that tidbit of knowledge. And then here's just the records he sent me. First off, Out of the Cellar by Rat. This is an original 1984 US press, and Rat were sort of like the big bands that were part of the whole 80's glam metal, hair metal LA scene. This was their debut studio album. This has probably one of their most well-known songs, Round and Round. I'm not like the biggest 80's glam metal fan, but I have heard some Rat songs and I like them, so I'm excited to dive into this album. And then this one just came on black vinyl on the Atlantic label. Then next up, something I was missing in my Runaways collection was their debut album. This is their self-titled debut. Again, if you don't know who the Runaways are, great hard rock, early punk. This album originally came out in 1976, and this is the 2019 Modern Harmonic US press. Like I said, their first studio album. This was produced by their manager, Kim Fowley, and they were all 16 when they recorded this, except for Leah Ford, who was a year older. She was 17. But the fact that a whole bunch of teenage girls sounded like this to me blows my mind. I just love them so much. If you guys saw my last video, you know how excited I was that I found original press of Queens of Noise, and they're just like one of my all-time favorite bands. So I was so excited when I got this. And it comes with this great gatefold of all the Goyles. Yeah, so excited to finally have this. Now I just need their last two, and I'll have their entire discography. And this one just came on black vinyl with the 70s Mercury pressing. And then Vic is a really, really huge Monkees fan. I think that's his all-time favorite band. And he sent me 2 or 3 Monkees albums now, so he's really bulking up my Monkees collection. But this is another one he sent me. This is The Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees by the Monkees. This is an original 1968 Japanese press. I don't think I have any Japanese records in my collection. But yeah, this is the gatefold. It has the lyrics of the songs both in Japanese and English. But yeah, great rock, pop. I'm pretty sure you all are familiar with the Monkees. Their 5th album, and this was their first album to not go #1 in the US. This is when they were starting to go down in popularity. I think their TV show had just gotten canceled. That movie Head just came out, and it did really, really poorly, and they had a TV special that also was really bad. So this is what was sort of like going downward in their career. But I know this has like Valerie and Daydream Believer on it, some of their bigger hits. So I'm excited to listen to this. And then this one came out a really heavy duty black vinyl with the Victor RCA label. And then next up, an 80s classic. This is Seven and the Ragged Tiger by Duran Duran. Little secret, I love Duran Duran. I mean, they're obviously one of the biggest bands in the 80s. I actually only have their live arena tour album, but I've been looking to get more of their stuff. I really dug the album that just came out last year. I've heard a few songs off of it, and I've been looking for it every time I go to the record store, and I can't find it. But I have really dig them. They're such great pop, electric synth pop, new wave. I just really dig them, and they just really encapsulated that whole 80s sound. But yeah, this is original 1983 US press. This was their 3rd album. And when they were writing and recording this, they kind of pulled a Stones move because they had started getting really popular. Of course, the British were like, hey, we're going to tax the shit out of you. And they were like, no, we're going to go to France, write the record, and then go to the Caribbean and record it. So they were kind of like tax exiles during this time. So yeah, a little interesting backstory about that one. And this one just came on black vinyl with custom labels in capital. And next up, an unknown band to me, but I really, really dig this album. This is Toilet Boys, their self-titled album. This actually originally came out on September 11th, 2001. So pretty bad timing on their part, but obviously they didn't know what was going to happen that day. But this is a 2021 US press. This was a 20th anniversary edition they did. They're great punk rock with a little bit of 70s glam thrown in. This was their final studio album. I think they are getting back together this year to do some like reunion concerts in New York, I believe. But I saw this quote online from one of the reviewers that I think perfectly describes this album and the Toilet Boys sound. Images of cocaine, blowjobs, out-of-control parties, and a confident, stylish band on stage hammering away, carrying on the CBGB's New York rock torch. And that's exactly what you get from this album. I really dig it. And thank you so much to Vic for introducing this band to me. They are killer. Definitely have to look into some of their other albums. It came on a really nice heavy-duty 180 gram vinyl with these custom labels. And it also came with a bonus 7-inch. It's on this red vinyl. And side A has Kiss in the Wind, and side B has Feels Good. So yeah, I'm not sure if those are on any of their other albums or if they're just bonus songs, but again, really great as well. And then next up, I actually don't have any of the Monkees solo albums, and this is quite timely since we just lost Michael Nesmith last month. But this is his solo album, Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma. This is original 1979 US press, and this is described as rock, funk, soul. I actually haven't listened to this yet, but that really intrigued me that there was funk, soul sort of listed under this. So I'm wondering what this is going to sound like. But this was his ninth solo album, and the last one he did for a really long time. I think this was the last one, and then there was a 2-decade gap before he did another one in the 90s, I believe. So yeah, really interesting to hear what that sounds like. And then I believe this is on his own label, the Pacific Arts Corporation. So yeah, really excited to hear some of Michael Nesmith's solo stuff. And again, a band that I also surprisingly really enjoy. This is Spring Session Mission by Missing Persons. 1982 US press. They're just fun, great new wave rock, pop. I just really enjoy their sound. This was their debut studio album, and they had hits off of this album with the song Words and Walk in LA. I really dig the singer's voice. It's very sort of tongue-in-cheek. It kind of reminds me of Tony Basil. Is that the name of Oh Mickey, You So Fine? I probably really jacked up her name, but yeah, I really dig them, especially this album. And this one came on the Rainbow Capital label. And then this one I actually haven't listened to, but again, this is also a Missing Persons album. This is Color in Your Life. This is an original 1986 US press. Again, a great electric pop rock. Third studio album and their last album with their original lineup. I haven't listened to this one, and I didn't recognize offhand any of the songs on this one. So yeah, but I'm assuming it's probably a lot like the last album I just showed. And again, this one's just on the Rainbow Capital label. There's a bit of a smudge on that side. Okay, I have to clean that. And then next up, a band I've been meaning to fill a hole in my collection. This is The Game by Queen. This is an original 1980 US press. Great rock, hard rock, a little bit of glam on this album. This was their 8th album and their first album to feature the synthesizer. The only other Queen album I have is a Sheer Heart Attack, which is my all-time favorite Queen album, but I've been meaning to get more of their stuff, and this is sort of a great one when they're kind of getting more experimental with the whole electronic 80s pop rock sound. But you have some great songs on here. Play the Game, another one, Bites the Dust, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Save Me is a good one. But yeah, Queen's always good. Oh, and I don't have the album. Oh no, it's right here. And this one just came on black vinyl with white Electra labels. Alright, that was all the stuff Vic sent me. He sent me a lot this go around. Thank you so much, Vic. A lot of stuff I've been needing to get. You always know what I need. And next up is the stuff I bought myself. Start off with 7 inches. First up, we got the Druids of Stonehenge. This is a 1996 US comp of some early recordings they did in 1965 and 1966 that Sundays did. I would describe them as like garage psych blues, but it's a 245 set that comes on this like little gatefold explaining the history of the band and these recordings. And so the first record has covers of Who Do You Love, Pretty Thing, I Put a Spell on You, and Baby Please Don't Go. Yeah, I really dig their cover of I Put a Spell on You. Really sort of crazy psych blues. It's almost like it kind of reminds me of the Creedence Clearwater Revival cover a little bit. And then the second one has a bald-headed woman and I Who Have Nothing. But yeah, I really dig this. This was like $5 at my local record store. Well, actually free because I ended up going there like the day after Christmas, and I'm a regular at the store. The dude knows me, and he just like threw this in as like a freebie, as like a thank you for shopping with us sort of thing. So that was super nice of him, and I really dig this. Next up is this really awesome comp from Plant Pimp Records. This is Fuck You, Spaceman. It has 4 different artists on here. You have In the Bilges by Slug Dick Nick, Doing the Kirk by the Mummies. I've been meaning to get anything by the Mummies. I know a lot of their stuff is only on 45, so I'm excited to have anything with them on it. And then side 2 has Lieutenant Uhura by Three Stoned Men, and then Klingons versus Daleks by the Phantom Surfers, another group I've been meaning to get some stuff from. And then Thamata El Cosmonato by the Possessed Accordion of Alicia Rose. So yeah, really excited to have this in this awesome cover. And this one just came on this cool translucent green vinyl. Yeah, super stoked to have this. I don't know if I said it, but this comp was originally released in 1992. This is a 1996 reissue. And then next up, we have this promo single of Under the Milky Way by The Church. Originally came out in 1988. The Church are a great like rock, alt rock band. I have been looking for the album Starfish for such a long time, and I will sell for this until I can finally find a good copy of Starfish. But yeah, one side has the album version of Under the Milky Way, and the other side has the radio edit version of Under the Milky Way. And if you haven't heard that song, that is like such a beautiful song and probably the most well-known Church song. So yeah. And then next up is just regular old records. Again, something I have always heard about and I've always wanted to find. I'm so glad I finally found one of these records, but this is Teenage Delinquent by Mad 3. This is original 1998 US press, great garage, rock, punk with a little bit of surf thrown in. This was their second album, and they are a band from Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo has such a great rockabilly, psychobilly scene. I think that started in the 80s when the sort of revival started to happen. But Mad 3 was one of those bands that kind of just like came out on top in Japan, and I've been looking for anything by them for such a long time, and this is such a killer record. Mainly instrumental. I think there's only 2 or 3 songs that have vocals on it, but it's just so loud and in your face, punk, garage, really killer stuff. I think I got this for like $14 at my local record stores in beautiful condition. And this one is on a red translucent vinyl. Super cool if you're into the whole revival, garage, rockabilly, psychobilly sound. This one's also a really cool find. This is The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. This album originally came out in 1982, and this is a 2010 US press. This is such an influential early electronic hip-hop album. This was their debut album that was released on the famous Sugar Hill label, and this has a very influential early electronic song called Scorpio. Very cool. And then you also have the fantastic song The Message, which is the last song on this album. So killer, such an influential early hip-hop song. But then you also have Dreamin' on here, which is sort of it's sort of more of like an old school 70s soul song about the band and how much they love Stevie Wonder, and how their dream is to meet Stevie Wonder, and how they always dream about meeting Stevie Wonder. It's just a really cool, fun little song, and this album in general is just so killer. And this one came on, I think this is a limited edition thing on a translucent red vinyl. This actually goes for a bit of money. I think I only paid like $30 for this, but I think on Discogs, copies of this are selling for like $70, $80, so that was a really cool find. And then next up, if you guys have seen my previous videos, I'm trying to get into jazz, and this is an album I see a lot of people talk about when they do talk about their favorite jazz albums. But this is The Shape of Jazz to Come by Ornette Coleman. This originally came out in 1959, and this is a 2010 Spanish press. I describe this as free jazz, avant-garde jazz. Definitely not something I would recommend for early beginners in jazz. But I don't think this is too crazy of like a free jazz album. I found it listenable, even though I'm still new to the genre and still sort of dipping my toes into it. But I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite jazz album, but probably once I get more into the whole avant-garde free jazz sound, I would probably enjoy it even more. But this is Ornette Coleman's third album and the first album he did for Atlantic Records. But Ornette plays alto sax on here, and then Don Cherry plays cornet, Charlie Hayden plays bass, and Billy Higgins plays drums. So a really solid selection of musicians on here. And this one just came on a really nice heavy duty 180 gram custom label vinyl. And then next up, we have this great compilation called MIA, The Complete Anthology by the Germs. I have been looking for GI by the Germs for the longest time. GI was the only studio album that the Germs ever released, but this has their entire catalog on it. So it has the full GI album, What We Do Is Secret EP, the Cruising soundtrack, all of their 7-inch singles, and they were all remastered from the original tapes. So if you just want to get everything by the Germs, I would just recommend forking out the money for this. I think it was like $40. But yeah, this originally came out in 1993, and this is a 2021 US press. If you weren't familiar with the Germs, they were a very influential early band in the LA hardcore punk scene. This is the third edition that came on smoked blue and black vinyl, and I think it was limited to 1,500 pressed. And it came on 2 LPs, and this is just one that I'm going to show. But yeah, it came on this really cool bluish black smoky translucent vinyl. I'm still on the lookout for, I would love to find an original early press of GI, but this will do for now until I find that. So, and then next up, I've been really getting into early 70s Afrobeat music recently, and I just found this at my local record store and looked really cool. So this is Metallic Funk Band by the Mighty Flames. This was originally released in 1978 in Nigeria, and this is a 2016 Austrian press. Great Afrobeat, funk, disco. This was the band's second album, and they only released 3 albums. One in 1977, this one in 1978, and then another one in 1979. I couldn't really find a lot of information about the band, but I really, really dig this album. And then this one just came on this PMG, which I believe is the Austrian label that does a lot of these Afro beats, really hard to find reissues. So yeah, really excited to dive more into that this year. I've been really digging I don't know if you'd consider like Witch Afrobeat. They're kind of more like garage rock. But yeah, Witch, Fela Kuti, yeah, recommend more stuff to me. I've been really getting into it. But yeah, that was all I got these last 2 weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.